shared very creative and innovative ideas, which is the need of the hour. In fact, the topic of today is changing face of higher education, innovative thoughts and methods. Well, ever since the advent, or if you say the arrival of COVID-19, I believe that the entire focus has shifted. What a revolutionary change. I was wondering one day that till the time COVID made its entry, we would not allow a student to carry mobile phones to the school. Mobile phones used to be the biggest irritants in classrooms, in colleges, universities. As teachers, we would get irritated. We would ask them to put it on silent. And what a revolutionary change that today the same mobile phone has become the most potent medium for dissemination of information and knowledge. This shows, it's like that I am reminded of the Renaissance, when all the things that we believed in, including that the sun revolved around the earth, that entire concept changed. Similarly, what was seen as an obstructor turned out to be a disruptor, a facilitator. It has changed the mode of communication between a teacher and the student, between a university and its universe. And I think that it is but natural that in these times we do ponder over how to make it as engaging, as conversational, as interactive as possible. Online education is not just about shifting from the classroom to sitting in front of the monitor and then talking the same thing. The entire pedagogy changes. The entire approach changes because there is no human touch involved. You are looking at images. The student is seeing the image of the teacher and the teacher is seeing the image of the student. Whether they are physically present there or not, you do not know. I also see on my screen so many names, but they are all invisible. I am sure they are all there, but I am also not sure whether they are there. How to ensure that they are there? My friend Ujjwal is very fond of using the term brick and mortar. And I agree with it. From brick and mortar, we have shifted to brick and mortar, where the brick is important. It gives the institution an identity. The identity is not that of a computer screen, but a building. The identity is not that of an image talking. The other day I saw on WhatsApp an image of the classic image of Shahid-e-Azam Bhagat Singh talking. And it was widely circulated. It was said, look, using animation technology we have made Shahid-e-Azam speak. And he was making lip movements also. This was a WhatsApp viral. Many senior journalists had also tweeted that. Now, but we are blood and flesh, human beings. That interaction is very important. So the future is blended. Because online is going to be part of our life as much as mobile phones are, as much as digital payments have become part of us. I think that let us accept it. Now, we are also, apart from the technological changes that has come about, the national education policy is going to be a major disruptor. Because it entirely changes the way we used to look at education. Education was confined as a classroom experience wherein you have a certain period of life which is devoted to education, and after that there is no scope for education. But the national education policy talks about education as a lifelong learning process. The flexibility introduced, the lateral entries, the academic credit banks, wherein after 10 years or 15 years in the industry, I want to go back to my B school, I want to go back to my J school, I can always go back. And not just that I can go back to an institution of my choice. Not only that I can go back to an institution of my choice, I can also take a course of my choice. Take a degree of my choice. So whether I go for a certificate, a diploma, a degree, an honors is dependent on me. I can pursue medicine and practice music. The NCC and the NSS, the Scout and Guide and all those activities that I used to engage myself in are no more worthless. Every teaching hour, every learning hour can be converted into a credit. So nothing goes waste. So if you are playing, that goes into your credit. If you are taking part in a cultural program, it goes into your credit. The focus is on teacher learning, training of trainers, TOTs. Teacher education is an important component. You are focused on languages. So you are focused on indigenous and traditional knowledge, interdisciplinarity. So we are shifting to a focus on, from teaching and learning institutions, we are getting into research and publication institutions, wherein it is our accreditation, it is our rankings that will make all the difference, whether in terms of research, in terms of funding. So we have to come out of that traditional mold and transform into the new situation wherein you cannot be mediocre and survive. You have to be excellent and succeed. That is the mantra which is going to motivate us. So technology and policy. Now both have come. So it's a big challenge. Private is no more a dirty word. Private is no more anonymous with people out there to make money. Private is being given the same equivalence if they are able to perform. So it's perform or perish. I don't see a situation after say a decade or so, if this is sincerely implemented, that many of the so-called old-time institutions are going to fade away. They won't be able to survive. If they are not innovative, if they are not creative, if they don't upskill their teachers, students have become very conscious, not only of their rights, but also about the options available. The internet has opened the doors. Today they are not dependent on a student counselor. Today they are not dependent on their teacher to decide to make their careers, make their choices in terms of their academic career. They today have the whole world of internet open before them and they are exploring. And they will challenge you. Look, that institution is providing this, why you are not providing? Look, that teacher is good, why you are not good? This is being taught there, why not here? So institutions will have to make a major psychological shift. They will have to accept that chalta hai attitude is not going to work anymore. Chalta hai is over. You have to excel. Because the student today has become conscious. The parents have become conscious. So it is time that we, because the entire thing is student centric. So far what has been the centric? Student was a passive voice, not an active voice. I was told that I have about 10 minutes. Maybe in another 2-3 minutes I will conclude. 1 or 2 minutes. So student has never been at the center.
Sir, you still have 5 minutes, over 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much. So student was not at the center of education. Well, the parents will decide, the school will decide, the teachers will decide what he will study, from whom he will study, where he will study. The education policy has a democratized education in the sense that it has made the student at the center. He is the pivot. He or she will decide whom to choose, what to study, when to study, where to study. This will be chosen by the student. Student comes at the center. The teacher has to equip himself or herself, upskill themselves constantly in terms of research, in terms of publications. So we will have to come out of our cocoons. Higher education need to become more interdisciplinary in approach. So we should have more IITians talking about humanities. Life skills have become very important. When I talk with some engineering heads of engineering institutions, they tell me that, our students know how to do this, how to do that, but they do not know how to write a leave application properly. Something as basic as communicative English or communicative Hindi, Bangla, you name it, whatever. That they are not aware of. So you have an engineer, you can talk about aerospace, you can plan those things, satellite dynamics and everything, but aerodynamics, but you do not know how to write a letter. Can we look at the new policy, and the future of education will depend on how complete personalities you are able to groom at your university. Your university, that is why no more universities can be domain specific. You will have to be multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. So we will have to get into that mindset. At JNU, they have an engineering course where 4 years they teach you pure engineering. Software, hardware, electronic, electric. But 5th year, they teach you only humanities. The humanizing education, the interface which allows you to bloom. You are not, part of a cocoon. You don't get into a cocoon. It enables you to come out of your cocoon. Now that is the big change that you and I as educationists will have to think about. We will have to come out of that cocoon mindset. We will have to come out of it. We will have to outgrow that. Yes, specialization, yes. That is no way diluting specialization. But specialization with a human face, wherein because you specialize people in such a way that they know how to fix a satellite, but they do not know how to fix a tap. a leaking tap in their homes? Can it be made applicable, applied? Can it be made pragmatic, practical, oriented? Or are we going to just talk about theories? At a time when young minds are getting exposed to the vast vistas of knowledge, school going children, they are learning coding, gaming, your virtual reality, your augmented reality, your animations, your Internet of Things. All this is changing the dynamics of education. In that time, when artificial intelligence, that is playing a critical role, I think that this technology and policy is going to bring about revolutionary changes in higher education. And we teachers have generally been, because this is our forum of teachers, that we have traditionally been, very conservative. We have resisted change. But if this time we resist change, then we are doomed. Because we have no future. Because that is the pace at which technology is changing. That today if you have to remain relevant, you have to radically change yourself. That is the mantra today. Let us be open, let us have an open mindset, let us look at experimentation, let us look at innovative, creative approaches to education. Our forefathers, our ancestors used to do it. Where there is an interplay of environment, your topic, language. Whenever I go to Shanti Niketan and I see how Gurudev created the ambience of students sitting under the tree and learning, I believe that was creativity at its peak. So I believe we need to come out of the classrooms, and only then we can come out of the box also. And let us also teach them not just out of box thinking, but also what to do with the box. I think therein lies the big challenge to higher education. I am sure our educationists are fully prepared to meet the challenges of the new era, and my best wishes to the organizers for organizing this very relevant topic that we discussed. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for such an enriching talk. I would just like to make sure